Well, we're here in Lewiston and we're about to have a chat to Kevin Bewley, one of our greyhound trainers here in South Australia. He's not only a greyhound trainer, he's had a big say in what's happening in the industry here in South Australia in his time in greyhound racing, and he's about to have a chat to us here at his lovely property in Lewiston. Kev, hello to you, and
hello.
Thanks for joining us. This is a fantastic opportunity to profile yourself, but also your lovely house that you're in here at Lewiston, and your business that you've got outside of greyhound racing in SA.
Yeah, we've got a greyhound property here. Also, we do dog grooming and we show poodles, and that's a passion of my wife's.
Yep.
And my passion is greyhound racing, and we just both, help each other out.
Yep. And we're talking about Carol's Mutt Hut. Is that the name of the business?
That's right. Yeah, Carol's Mutt Hut.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a family business.
Yes. Yeah. And she employs a couple of girls here and does a bit of boarding.
And it all works with the greyhounds here as well, because I noticed when I arrived here today, you can certainly hear the greyhounds out the back. They're here, and you've obviously got the dogs that are getting groomed as well by Carol.
Yes, that's right. It all works in well. So we just help each other out, and the greyhounds are down the back, the poodles are up the front.
All right, Kev, well, tell us about your time in greyhound racing. I know that before being a trainer, as you are right now, you were heavily involved in greyhound racing, and from my memory, 1987 is when you came on board?
Before that, I was actually a greyhound trainer for a while.
Right.
And then, because of the children and all that, I had a break from it. And then I was back in, like you said, 87. The position came up at Angle Park as a racing manager and applied for it and got the job. I'd be out there talking to the trainers and liaising back to the committee what their problems were. I would, like any big races, I was always in contact with all the top trainers and top dogs in interstate to try and get them over here to race. And that was basically my role.
And you lasted about 10 years in that role?
That's right, yeah. I worked under Howard Ashton at the time, was a great administrator. And I learnt quite a lot from that.
Saw a lot of the photos up inside it before, which we'll obviously have a look at as well. But you've had some success with a lot of greyhounds. I guess no greyhound that's got to that star-studded level of South Australian greyhound racing, but you've had a lot of winners over your time. So is the aim for you to pick out the right sort of dog that can come over here and race, twice a week in I guess not in Thursday night grade company, but pick up money along the way?
I don't worry about the overall time. It's just if they can get out, you can get out in front. The other thing is I get a lot of people ring up, want to get into the game for the first time, and they don't have a lot of money. And I quite enjoy trying to get them into the industry, and they have $2,000–3,000 they want to spend to get into it.
So these are syndications for the public?
Syndication. There might be a couple of mates want to get together to get into the game, and I want to get in ground level. And I target these type of dogs, and that way I know they're going to get their money back quick. So that's the thing. Get them a winner, get their money back, and then they'll go on to buy more dogs, and you get them into the industry. So I target that type of dog. But I've never really had any real good dogs. I've just had, that's the type of dogs I aim for at the moment.
Well, you're racing pretty much, 6 days a week you're out on the road travelling these dogs around at these different tracks, but you're regularly picking up, 1 or 2 winners per meeting, which is what you need to do, I guess.
I think I average about two winners a week.
Yeah.
So
and that's what you need to do, don't you, really?
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I hope I aim for. Get those 2 winners.
What about best dogs, Kev? I was looking back through some of your dogs in the past. I know you didn't train him the whole way through, but my boy Bean, you picked him up at the end, and he was one of those dogs. Yeah.
He Clint Alloway bought him for $1,000.
Wow.
He was going to Gap actually, and Clint rang me and said, "Do you want to have a go with this dog? He's out of a good litter." He said, but he doesn't chase 100%, but they reckon he does have a bit of ability. And I said, no, send him over. And I reckon it took about 3 weeks. And I said to him, don't get rid of this dog. I said, I reckon he'll make a great stayer.
And he did.
And he did, He was a good stayer. And but he was only $1,000.
Wow. And Chatty Whack was another one too, I think, from memory.
Yeah, that came from Michael Bewley, actually. He sent him over to race at Strathalbyn and Port Augusta back then. He said, look, he'll be a great dog for that. but he was a fantastic dog. He used to run a placings all the time. I think he won over every distance at Angle Park. He won on a Thursday night. Yeah, he was one of those most consistent. I tell you what, I used to say to Michael, I wish I had a kennel full of chattywhackers, you know. Yeah.
Michael Bewley, relation there at all, Kev?
No, he's not a relation, but he phoned me to say, find out whether we were somewhere in the distance, but no, we weren't, but we've become good friends.
And I guess you would have seen so many things change at Greyhound Racing SA since your time in '87 to what we are now in 2022. How do you think the industry is going? To me, looking in, it looks like it's financially set up, and I guess they're moving forward in the right areas.
Oh, well, the big thing is now you get unplaced money, which helps the trainers out a lot. You know, they collect all the unplaced money. Time grading racing, I think that's a great, fantastic thing. It keeps the dogs longer in the industry. Where they were going to gap before, but now there's another opening for them that you can race dogs. And again, that's where you can buy the cheaper dogs and race them for people and bring people into the industry.
And what does the future hold for Kev Bewley from here on in? Obviously, you want to keep training greyhounds like you're doing. Is I guess the thought one day you might get that good dog that can take you to the next level on a Thursday night, or are you just happy doing what you're doing?
I mean, anyone wants a good dog, you know, eventually. But no, the future, that I think of at the moment, that's the way I go. It was like Miss Ambitious the other day, one at Gawler. There were two young lads that had been dying to get into the industry, and I don't think they paid much for their dog. And
she won.
It won, and they're on the phone all the time, you know, and now they're talking about getting another dog, you know. That's the type of thing you know, you feel really good to see people like that, you know. So happy and so thankful too.
Well, Kev, we need you and your type of people in the industry to keep it going. You know, you front up at these meetings, you know, rain, hail or shine, you're there. You bring a team of dogs, and that's what it's all about. And we thank you for being part of the industry and giving your service to Greyhound Racing SA over those 10-year period, but also what you're doing now, I guess, in the sport with bringing new owners in and continuing to train greyhounds. So we thank you for your time, and thank you for letting us into your property here today at Lewiston. It's a fabulous setup, and we hope you can train many more winners.
Thank you.